Hello everyone, this is Week, back again on another live. Today we are not going to review, we are going to talk about my favorite, greatest perfumers of all time. So I think behind each great perfume there is a great perfumer. Otherwise, a perfume cannot be born and won't be a legendary perfumes. So I said to myself, I have to do this chapter. Maybe it will be another chapter later, but this is a very important chapter because those perfumers are very dear to me and I think are true legendary perfumers. So we are going to talk about those perfumers. Unfortunately, I cannot read your messages, but if you have any question or you have any comment, just drop at the comment section below and you can be sure I will answer you as I always did, and I love to read your comments. So your comments are always welcome to this channel. My number one is Jean-Paul Guerlain. Why Jean-Paul Guerlain is my number one? Because I believe he's the greatest perfumer of the 20th century. This fine gentleman, he's from a dynasty of perfumers, and his father, grandfather, and also grandfathers were perfumers. You know the story of the Guerlain. It's not a fake story, it's a real story. They started a long time ago, and the dynasty of the Guerlains ended with Jean-Paul Guerlain, unfortunately. Jean-Paul Guerlain created lots of legendary perfumes. I will only give you few of them. Abbey Rouge. You know what is Abbey Rouge? Medieval, Shalimar, Chamat, also Derby, Coriolan. Also, he created Samsara, and many more. You have to check by yourself. You know, I don't want to list them all here, and each of them were so fabulous and so unique under genre. So what is left after the legacy of Jean-Paul Guerlain? Unfortunately, nothing. Because the house of Guerlain, after the departure of Guerlain, is in the hand of Thierry Vasser, which is to me a very mediocre perfumer. He's not a master perfumer. And now is not even anymore in hand of Thierry Vasser. Thierry Vasser is there, but he's supervised. The creations are done by Delphine Jelk, who's absolutely a novice in the business of perfumery and pretend to be a great perfumer, but she's not a great perfumer because she don't have any background. She never created any great perfumes before entering the house of Guerlain, and most of her latest creations are absolutely mediocre and forgettable. Jean-Paul Guerlain creations were unforgettable, and still, they are the pillars of the house of Guerlain. I forgot also to mention Heritage by Jean-Paul Guerlain. Those fragrances are timeless, are legendary, and they have their own personal touch, the touch of Guerlain, which you don't find anymore in the new creations by the house of Guerlain. They are very common, very generic, and very mainstream. So I don't like the new creations by Guerlain, and I am proud to give you my opinion. No, the house of Guerlain without Jean-Paul Guerlain is nothing. It's done. It's over. I'm sorry to say, but this is my opinion. So, for me, the greatest perfumer of the 20th century was Jean-Paul Guerlain. And the last creation of Jean-Paul Guerlain for the house of Guerlain was Les Épices Volées, a true hidden gem. Is it still around? It's on the Art et Matière collection, but I really invite you to give it a try. Les Épices Volées. So, how can you replace a guy like Jean-Paul Guerlain? Surely not by a mediocre guy like Thierry Vasser. Thierry Vasser creations are very average, very mediocre. He knows the job, but he's not a perfumer. He's not a master perfumer. And who is Delphine Jelk to run the direction of Guerlain. The House of Guerlain was the most prestigious perfume house in France and maybe in the world. And now is in the hand of the third-class perfumers. That's a joke. Really, that's a joke, and I really have a pity because they are ruining the legacy of the Guerlain's family. So this is it. For me, the House of Guerlain ended with the departure of Jean-Paul Guerlain. I'm sorry to say, because I don't like their latest creations, you know. I don't like Homme Idéal. I don't like Petite Robe Noire. I don't like none of them. I really tested all of them. I said, okay, they try to modernize. Maybe it's a great... No, for me, it's mainstream. And their target, they are not anymore connoisseurs. Their target are mainstream. They just want to sell. They just want to sell bottles and bottles and bottles. And that's why they make flankers after flankers and flankers. And when they don't have any idea, oh, they release a new flanker of Abbey Rouge. Give us a break. The House of Guerlain should find a real master perfumer to replace Delphine Gilk and Thierry Vasser. Otherwise, the House of Guerlain is going a true downfall and will be a very, very third-class perfume house, which is a pity because the House of Guerlain was a premium perfume house. The House of Guerlain was a niche house because it's not a designer, but the quality now, it's a designer. Guerlain doesn't make clothes. Guerlain doesn't make bags. Guerlain doesn't make shoes. It's a perfume house. What is left? Became a designer quality fragrances instead of being a niche quality fragrances. And who ruined that legacy? Thierry Vasser and Delphine Gilk. Voila. So, I really miss Jean-Paul Guerlain's creation. And that's it. That's life. And to me, he was the greatest perfumer of the 20th century. Now we turn to a second. Who's the second for me? Edmond Rudinstka. Edmond Rudinstka, he's a legendary perfumer, Russian origins, and he created Eau Sauvage for Christian Dior. He created Femme pour Rochas. He created Diorella. He created all those great legendary perfumes for Christian Dior. And his touch is unforgettable because Edmond Rudinstka, you know, his work, it's a magic in the bottle. It's a magic in the bottle. This guy, he created maybe only 20, 21 fragrances, but all of them were great. All of them were masterpieces. So he's the second. He's definitely the second. The third perfumer for me is Bernard Chant, the king of Chypre fragrances. Bernard Chant created Aramis in 1966, and he created all the great fragrances of the House of Estée Lauder. He created Aramis 900, Aramis Devon, Aramis GHL, Aramis Toscani, Aramis Havana, and also he created Cinnabar, he created Azure, he created all those aromatic elixirs for clinic, all those great fragrances. And unfortunately, he created not more than 2021, but all of them are masterpieces. And don't forget, he created for the House of Grey Cabochard. Cabochard is a twin sister of Aramis. Imagine there is a brother and sister, and they are twins. One is named Aramis, and the other one is named Cabochard. That was Bernard Chant, the king of Chypre. Number 4, for me, is definitely Jacques Polge. Jacques Polge creations for the House of Chanel are great, are fabulous. He created Anataus, he created all those great fragrances that we know from the House of Chanel. He created Egoist. He created also definitely 3 or 4 other great fragrances from the House of Chanel. He created Egoist Platinum, and also he created fantastic fragrances such as Monsieur pour Chanel Eau de Concentré, He is definitely one of the greatest perfumer of the 20th century. And this guy is now replaced by his son, Olivier Polge, that again I don't find his creations fabulous as his father was, because he done nothing special until now, and probably he will just do reformulations or creating new flankers, but he done nothing great, unfortunately. But that's work of Olivier Polge. His father works were fabulous. He also created Bois Noir, which was the father of the Egoist, because Bois Noir didn't work, and then 2 3 years later they released Egoist, and Egoist became a worldwide hit. And this guy, he was fantastic. He really done a great job for the House of Chanel. He was the in-house perfumer of Chanel for almost 30 years. And of course, he created Coco, the great Coco for women. And this is a fantastic chypre fragrance. I love it. It's one of my favorites, wife fragrance as well. And this guy, he done a great job. Jacques Paul definitely is one of the best. Number 5, to me, is François Demachy. François Demachy, he was the in-house perfumer of the house of Christian Dior from 2007 up to 2021. And this guy done so many great fragrances that I will name few of them. First, he developed the line of Dior Homme. He created Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Parfum, which is a fantastic fragrance, Dior Homme Sport. And he created his own his own line, Sauvage, which became a worldwide bestseller. And I'm not a big fan of Sauvage, but I have to acknowledge it's a fantastic fragrance. And of course, his latest great fragrance for the House of Dior was Dior Sauvage Elixir, which is a top seller, a blockbuster. And also he created J'adore. He created many other great fragrances, He created also many perfumes for the house of Christian Dior, of course, Joy, and many on the exclusive. I cannot name them all. You have to go check it by yourself. But this guy, he is replaced now by Francis Cruikshank for and he's ruining all those great creations by François Demachy. Also, François Demachy created Eau Sauvage Parfum, which is one of my favorite. The two version, I love the two version. And now Francis Cruikshank is ruining all the legacy of François Demachy, and his creations are not even a mediocre, are awful. And his latest crime was to discontinue Dior Homme Parfum original and replace it by new Dior Homme, which is a crap in the bottle. A true crap in the bottle. So come on, Mr. Cruikshank, what the hell you are doing? That's all I want to know. Definitely, François Demachy is one of my favorite. Number 6 will be Maurice Roucel. Maurice Roucel is a fantastic perfumer, and he created over 300 fragrances. I cannot name them all. I only named them few of them for you. He created Musc Ravageur for the house of Frederic Malle. He created Bogart pour Homme, a fantastic fragrance, a fantastic tobacco pipe smell. And he created also L'Instant pour Femme for the house of Guerlain. And so many great creations Maurice Roucel done. He's definitely a master perfumer, one of my favorite. Number 7, Jean-Claude Ellena. He was the in-house perfumer for the house of Hermès for over 20 years. He created Terre de Hermès. He created lots of great fragrances, Jardin, Sur Nil, etc., etc. And this guy is replaced by a new in-house perfumer, Christine, master perfumer, who works mainly for the house of Jean Patou. Fantastic perfumer, no doubt. Number 9 will be Carlos Benaim. Of course, Carlos Benaim is still working hard, and his work is definitely worldwide known. He created over 250 fragrances, but for me, I will name you only a couple of them. Polo, Ralph Lauren Polo Green Original, blockbuster. Lately, he created Downhill Icon, fantastic fragrance. He created also the latest version of Polo Cologne Intense, great fragrance as well. And he's a great perfumer. Carlos Benaim is one of those guys who really has fantastic nose, and he know what he's doing with his nose. Carlos Benaim, definitely number 9. Number 10 is Guy Robert. Guy Robert is a little bit old perfumer. He created Equipage for the house of Hermes. He created Monsieur Rochas, Gucci pour Rome, 1976. Definitely a fantastic perfumer, and his work is definitely memorable and legendary. Number 11 will be Ernest Beaux. Ernest Beaux, he created Chanel number 5, Cuir de Russie for the house of Chanel, and many other, Bois des Îles for the house of Chanel. All of them are great, legendary fragrances and became top sellers and enduring the time, which is the most important thing for fragrances, because still Chanel number 5 is a top seller for women's, and Cuir de Russie is a top seller for men and women. And they are still around, which is important because Ernest Beaux was a perfumer of the beginning of 20th century. And he done, for example, Chanel number 5 around 1926, So enduring in time is fantastic for a fragrance. And who's behind? A perfumer. Ernest Beaux. Number 12 is Raymond Chaillan. Raymond Chaillan created Opium pour Femme for Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent pour Homme. Signor Ricci number 2 for Nina Ricci. Boucheron pour Homme. And also he created Hu Hang for Balenciaga, and Parfum d'Hermès for Hermes. Fantastic perfumer, one of the best in my opinion, and really I love his work. And Raymond Chaillan for me is a wonderful, wonderful creator, and his work is also enduring in time because still Yves Saint Laurent pour Homme is a top seller. And also you see that these fragrances from the house of Saint Laurent are still around, and he's a fantastic fragrances because he knows what he done. And he also created Monsieur Rochas, which previously I reviewed. One of the best fragrance that, in my opinion, done in the 20th century, and one of the best perfumer definitely Raymond Chaillan was. I think his son is also a perfumer, but well, I don't know really much about the works of his son. And number 13 will be definitely Pierre Bourdon. Pierre Bourdon, he done a great, great works, and he's still doing a great work. He created Cool Water for Davidoff, Green Irish Tweed for the House of Creed, French Lover for Frederic Malle. He created the mega blockbuster Kouros for Yves Saint Laurent, and Canali for Men. All of them are fantastic. But imagine someone who create Cool Water and Kouros. It's enough. Just those two are are the proof of his workmanship and of his craftsmanship, Pierre Bourdon, definitely one of the best fragrance maker, one of the best perfumer of the 20th century. Hopefully is still around. And a special mention, Nathalie Lorson. She's fantastic. She created Encre Noire, Black Opium for Yves Saint Laurent, Bentley for Man Intense, and also he created Graphite for Montana and Carbone for Pierre Balmain. Great, great, great lady of the fragrances. She's definitely a master perfumer and one of the best in the game. Definitely one of the best in the game. And I really like his craftsmanship and his way of handling, even with the very, not very expensive material, she can make great perfumes, which is fantastic. And I believe a lady like Nathalie Lorson should be the head of Guerlain instead of Delphine Jelk. I'm sorry to say, I have to point that again. Delphine Jelk, if somebody hear me at the house of Louis Vuitton, LVMH, please dismiss Delphine Jelk. Because what the hell she's doing, you know? You cannot sell a 400 bottle dollars for with mediocre juices like, for example, Vetiver Fauve. Come on, give us a break. So that's it, guys. I think you know my taste. You know that I cherish great works of the perfumers, and I hope that the perfumes will not be handled by artificial intelligence, because that will be the end of the legendary fragrances. And I really have a high esteem for great perfumers. Surely I missed lots of them. I have to make maybe a part two, but for the moment, those are my top favorites, greatest perfumers of all time, and especially the greatest perfumers of the 20th century. I really have a high esteem for all of them. But above all, Monsieur Jean-Paul Guerlain, which is the king of the perfumers for me. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back soon with another, of course, video or live. And God bless you all. Stay fragrant. Wear only what you want to wear. Don't follow the hype, because the hype might fool you. And stay safe and sound. Until we talk again, God bless you.